Can you sing along the 5 Pusha T records right now? His records.
Yes.
His records?
Yeah.
Name
I love
them.
Pusha. Nostalgia.
Oh, you was a Pusha T fan.
If
He's
you
like,
know, you know.
I didn't know he had fans like that. Can you name 5 Pusha T records? No,
Dreaming of
his
the
records.
Past.
Pusha T. I love your soul, my dog. You're not in my top 50. You might be in Charlemagne's top 50 and things like that.
Pusha top
But
50.
you haven't done that much for me in my life. Like I didn't never want to be like Pusha. I never had a Pusha moment in my life. I never thought like you dig. Like where I'm from, niggas want to be like you if you was really.
Jim Jones has resumed his slick discourse. Additionally, he might have chosen the wrong legend to play with this time. Jim abruptly entered an interview as though he were rewriting the history of hip-hop, asserting that Nas isn't as influential as he once was, that new rappers don't look up to him, and that his name doesn't have the same ring as it once did. Instantly, the internet went crazy. Online users asked, who keeps giving Jim a microphone? Because everyone understands that the one rule is to not treat Nasir Jones disrespectfully. This man established the groundwork for rap's use of lyricism, narrative, and unvarnished truth. Nas is more than just a rapper. He serves as the benchmark for excellence. And it didn't take long for a real person to intervene once those clips began to circulate. The legendary Pusha T from Virginia himself, to be exact. He didn't threaten, rant, or even raise his voice. Pusha handled it with a cool composure that deepens the impact of his remarks. The man who achieved everything with skill, respect, and unwavering consistency is behind that cool tone. Nas based the entire culture on the same principles. Jim began to run his mouth, so Pusha checked him sharp but smooth. He reminded everyone that loud discourse or podcast influence cannot erase legacy. According to insiders, Pusha even said in a chilly, oblique manner, "Some rappers have forgotten the foundation of our culture. Show respect to the person who fed you." Jim Jones has before stated something outrageous to get attention. He has been making absurd hot takes lately, criticizing luminaries one after another. From making fun of legends like PCIA Mesa to now disparaging Nas. It's obvious he's more interested in controversy than reliability. However, you will eventually be checked when you begin performing with true lyricists, the people who created hip-hop from the ground up. And with unadulterated facts, not sentiments. And Pusha T provided precisely that. That tiny remark went viral as soon as it was posted online. Social media was inundated with fans who said, "That's how you check somebody with class." Because Pusha used words that were more powerful than any diss track rather than getting into a messy dispute. He reminded everyone that you don't debate about the Nas legacy. It is ingrained in the DNA of hip-hop. Nas has been providing timeless masterpieces for 3 decades in a row, from Illmatic to King's Disease.
I mean, I would say as Diplomats as a whole, probably have one of the biggest influences in the hip-hop history. I'm not saying the biggest, but one of the biggest influence. You know what I mean? Like one of the biggest influences. Period. From across so many levels. You know what I mean? Fashion being one of the major, and music being the other. But
everyone was influenced by him, including Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. Artists who examined his thought process, message, and flow. Jim's greatest weakness, meanwhile, is nostalgia for certain reality TV moments and Dipset nostalgia. That is leftovers, not legacy. However, Pusha did more than just defend Nas. He also revealed information. He exposed the depressing reality of today's game, claiming that far too many rappers are attempting to advance by dismantling others rather than establishing their own lane. And that is how loud talkers and legends vary from one another. Legends are made. Loud talkers plead for attention. Even other rappers silently chipped in, like Push's postings with a hushed amen. While younger followers deluged Jim's comments with clown emojis and countless memes.
Do you like the new song?
No, but
you don't like Ace Trumpets?
What's so great about it?
It's so good.
It's good?
It's so, oh man.
It's good?
So yeah, there's something going on that you ain't tell us about, bro.
It's good in what? A nostalgic value of it?
You don't think Ace Trumpets is hard?
I don't believe them.
Oh.
But that's a whole nother story. I don't want to downplay nobody's craft or their music. I want to uplift
heavy
everybody and things like that.
Mm.
But I don't listen to their music.
He vowed that he didn't know Nas in that way and was merely stating the truth about the younger generation. Come on, though. No one was accepting that justification. You cannot accuse someone of miscommunication one minute and declare a legend irrelevant the next. That was immediately exposed by the internet. It was already too late. He had already been judged by the streets. Jim went too far, saying, "You don't cross." The memes became vicious. Photos of Nas clutching Grammys were being shared side by side. Jim was starring in Hip Hop and Love at the time. One man built hip-hop. The other built storylines. Read one caption. Major outlets began to notice the topic and referred to it as more than just a feud. They referred to it as a legacy lesson. That's the reality. When true greatness speaks, you listen to it instead of interrupting it. The public made it quite evident. Nas is invincible. Anyone brave enough to approach him had best be prepared to be quickly humbled. Additionally, Pusha T made sure the message was heard clearly. When questioned about all the chaos in a subsequent interview, he made a single, straightforward statement that rocked the culture. "We have to keep our architects safe. The people who laid the bricks are too often forgotten by new voices." That quotation caught on like wildfire. Since the essence of this was not about ego or power, rappers, producers, and even hip-hop historians replayed it endlessly. It has to do with respect. Hip-hop survives because of the respect shown to those who created it from the ground up. Jim may have believed he was kicking up a lighthearted argument, but in reality, he only revealed how far he had strayed from the cause he had previously supported. Dipset was formerly a symbol of pride in Harlem. Real energy, real hustle, and real talk. Jim, meanwhile, has been pursuing moments rather than creating memories lately. He hasn't been sharper, but he has been louder. Not deeper, but flashier. Additionally, it gets evident the more he speaks. That volume isn't powerful. It's insecurity masquerading as self-assurance. In the meantime, Push's stock skyrocketed. Supporters began referring to him as the culture's guardian. The person who intervenes when authentic hip-hop is disregarded. What's even more amazing is that he accomplished it without even shouting. Pusha said one amazing quip and turned to leave while Jim was out here bashing on about interviews and lives. Furthermore, the quiet was more powerful than any disc record. In real time, it abruptly ended the entire chat. Even Nas's peers showed love by coming out. Legends such as Common, Jadakiss, and Raekwon all made subtle posts about preserving the greats. It was a strong wave of unification. A strong indication that true artists are still concerned with maintaining the game's historical foundations. Ironically, the same audience that Jim said, "Don't study Nas," were also the ones that were constantly streaming his music throughout that week. The figures were honest. Nas's legacy is still strong, as evidenced by his streams exploding once more. It is flourishing. Jim Jones may have believed he could change Nas's story, but in reality, all he accomplished was to show the world how strong that legacy is. Because the entire culture comes together like a defense team when a real legend like Nas is treated disrespectfully. Additionally, Pusha T was the first to swing. The incident had transformed from a dramatic event into a cultural awakening by the time the smoke cleared. Respect remains important despite the loudness of the internet. Jim attempted to portray Nas as archaic, but instead came across as desperate. Worst of all, he misjudged the degree of devotion that true hip-hop fans have to their icons. Nas is more than simply a music icon. He stands for truth, narrative, and growth. Time is unable to remove that. Regardless of how many hot opinions or interviews attempt to change the facts, Push's participation made everything better. By transforming it from petty to strong, he demonstrated to the world that one can defend someone's reputation without making it into a circus act. He reminded everyone that there are still gatekeepers out there in his calm, collected manner. Those who refuse to tolerate rudeness without consequence. And Push is undoubtedly one of them. He revealed yet another treasure in a different interview. "I pursue respect instead of relevance because respect endures while relevance ebbs and flows." That quote went viral right away. It was dubbed the year's best bar by fans, and it encapsulated everything Jim Jones was unable to comprehend. Pusha, Drake, Meek, and now Nas. Jim Jones seems to be trying to maintain his popularity by making fun of giants. However, that type of energy is short-lived. Chaos is not a good foundation for a legacy. It burns away more quickly than it explodes. Pusha and Nas have always maintained their mythologies without the need for noise, which is precisely why they are where they are today. Industry insiders began discussing how close Nas and Pusha are to one another. For years, these two have respected one another's trade. Both gained notoriety for their accuracy, purpose, and handwriting. Thus, Pusha's involvement this time wasn't motivated by influence. Loyalty was the reason. And that devotion served as a reminder to fans of the original meaning of hip-hop: brotherhood, not rivalry. Jim ended up exactly where he didn't want to be as a result of the entire circumstance: embarrassed and vulnerable. His remarks grew stale with time, while Nas and Pusha emerged as powerful professional pillars. The voices were distinct and booming. The culture had made a decision. Jim's brief, sultry remark vanished as quickly as it had begun. The phrase "don't try Nas unless you are ready to be pushed" is now trending on the internet. That line has been circulating all over, since Jim recently discovered the hard way that true lyricists don't quarrel. It really fits. They impart knowledge. Pusha didn't make fun of him. He used both style and substance to reprimand him. Jim attempted to challenge Nas's legacy, but Pusha T quickly silenced him. Just culture, class, and wisdom. No threats, no shouting, no showmanship. And if there is only one lesson to be learned from this, it is straightforward. For clout, the crown doesn't shift. It only bows in deference. Post your opinions in the comments section. Press the like button. Talk to the team about it. Additionally, remember to subscribe. See you at the next